Hey nerds, just got finished watching episode 6 of Luke Cage entitled Suckers Need Bodyguards. Why do suckers need bodyguards? This is a much harder title to decipher for me because I couldn't figure out which suckers really needed bodyguards. I mean, I guess since the only person who ever asked anyone to be a bodyguard on this show was Luke Cage's old landlord, it seems to reason that it means weaker people, maybe. Actually, not Claire, that's for sure. She beat someone up last episode, tried to steal her purse. Those suckers might as well be. Cottonmouth. I mean, he got arrested. Wow. And he also has people doing his dirty work most of the time for him. Who else? Obviously, Scarf. And I was gonna mention, I was like, oh man, maybe I should reference to Scarface, who dies. He died this episode. I knew someone important was gonna die, but I didn't think they were gonna kill another person so soon. And they're killing people really fast on this show. So I'm gonna go on a limb and say a lot more people are gonna die. But I changed my mind about Agent Knight. That actually has a nice ring to it. Officer Knight. I think she's about to become obsessed and become really sage and be like, man, I keep making DC references. I was gonna reference a question because it's like a female question who ends up having been a cop. Anyway, this show is still ramping up, and halfway through, Cottonmouth's arrested. So, I mean, I guess we are gonna see his cousin take up the criminal underworld for a while, and I'm pretty sure we're gonna see Diamondback, and Shades disappeared, so that's probably who we want to get, if not him maybe even being Diamondback himself. Cottonmouth, even though they've been paying him against Luke in this very direct, very, well, I guess not very direct, this very satisfying way, I would say. The fact that he's been taken down, Luke thinks that everything is over because, you know, this person he saw as his main adversary in the fault of Pop's dying, he feels like, hey, I'm done here. I'm great. And he said he's gonna take down his cousin too, but I mean, he's not really taking strides in that promise. He thinks everything is over. He thinks the notes are gonna fix everything. He's gonna get a rude awakening, and I can't wait to see what dangers he's wrought. I'm gonna keep this short, but I'm gonna say, oh, it was so nice that the Scarf got to die, giving up Cottonmouth, just like Dante died and gave up his homies to Cottonmouth at the beginning of the series in a way. It was very satisfying, and seeing that character arc and seeing that this guy is a sympathetic character. Still an ass. He's like, well, Cottonmouth's worse. I mean, he was trying to live. But then at the end, he's like, oh man, I just want to see my son. He's like, oh, you'll see your son as soon as we get you to the hospital. It's like, I just want to be like, no, night nurse, that's not what he means. He said he needs to die. And I was so sad. But I'm really much sadder for Agent Knight because now she's about to be obsessed. Especially since this Cottonmouth stuff isn't over. He's probably going to get out. I mean, referencing what Luke said, was the last episode or 2 episodes ago now, about how everything is bigger. Arrests lead to indictments lead to plea deals. There's always a bigger fish. I think it was funny because he's talking about the larger Marvel universe in general. Thanos! But I mean, like, it's basically Marvel's strategy. I mean, comic book strategy, really. You know, you start on a small world and you make it epic, and then you just build and build and build and build. I mean, that's how you make epics. Sometimes. I do like that they're playing out Claire to be just like, she's like superhero consciousness. She's like the Uncle Ben who's still alive, but for everybody. She's like, oh my gosh. Oh, she doesn't die somehow, like in the Defenders or something. I mean, it'd be like Agent Coulson dying. to spur on the Avengers. But I just think that she could easily die at any time, but I love how she throws herself headlong into danger. I do hope she gets like a actual hero alias, even if she's not like, doing anything other than healing people, helping gunshot wounds. But we'll see what the bigger plans are for her. And I love Rosario Dawson's portrayal of this character, who I didn't know existed until Daredevil. But it's been pretty great. And I'm hoping to see Cottonmouth whoop some ass, actually. I haven't seen him in a fist fight in a while. I haven't seen him in a fair fight ever. So I'd like to see that before the end of the series. I'm going to keep this one short since the last one was like 14 minutes. Especially because this episode was just really This episode was really satisfying, especially because it was like a buddy. It was almost like a buddy comedy with Rosario Dawson and Luke Cage, especially with that thing at the end. But she's like, actually, I'm paying more attention to you than you think. And it was funny because, she's the only person who was like, oh yeah, you don't like coffee, without him actually having to say it. So it's like, it shows that she's paying attention. She cares about people and people with abilities. And I think that's something we don't see a lot in like superhero lore, just like someone who really likes superheroes, who isn't like a toxic person, who really wants to help them. And I think that's amazing. Oh yeah, I was saying it was like in reference to another show, it reminded me of an episode of Walking Dead with Daryl and Rick, and they're out on the road together, just them. And it's like, Rosario Dawson was like, hey, you need to like still be a hero. And he's like, walks out of the coffee shop, is like, nah, I got stuff to do. And she just follows him, and he lets her follow him, and he lets her do her thing, and they don't argue, and they don't make that whole big thing that they usually do when a civilian wants to get involved with superhero duties. And it's like, oh, it's too dangerous. He just lets you do it because she has expertise, and it was like plot convenience that she was there in the first place, or else Scarf would have died in that barber shop. But holy crap, was this episode great. I was like, man, I really hope they use Rosario Dawson. Thank you, Netflix, and everyone who writes for that show. Keep watching Luke Cage. I'll hit you with another one while I watch another episode.